Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report, and it's time to take a look at Image Scene, which is the previews catalogue solicited now for release in August. Now, I'm super excited to get into these books. Always like seeing what's coming new. So I'm going to go through it page by page, tell you what I'm going to pick, what's going to go on my pull list, give some hints and tips, and highlight anything that's new. So before that happens, hit subscribe if you like watching these videos, and if you like the video, give it a like too. I'd really appreciate it. So here we go. Spawn. Now, I grew up at exactly the right time to be fully into Spawn, and it never happened. I don't know why. Maybe there's something wrong with me, but I'm not a big fan of Spawn, so I'm not picking up any Spawn books. But there is a new one, of course, Spawn: The Dark Ages, and it's written and drawn by Liam McCormack Sharp. So if you're a big Spawn fan, maybe dive into that. So it says Saxon barbarians harry Britain from the east. In the north, the Pictish threat looms. From the west, Iberians send raiders from the land that shall one day be called Ireland. Aurelianus, newly anointed king, must defend Britain against all of these threats, whilst also dealing with the growing rebellion amongst his own people. So there we go. That's what that's about. Again, it's not for me. I'm not knocking it. It's pretty cool art. It reminds you of, Barry Windsor Smith, actually. Some cool character designs in there. But no, I'm not a big Spawn fan. But there's more. There's Spawn 50, so that's a bit of a benchmark, right? So Rory McConville, with art by Stephen Segovia and Carlo Barberi. Of course, there's going to be variant covers. Todd McFarlane's at the top of the list there. Well, he's doing 4 of them, actually. So that's pretty intense. So if you're a big fan of Spawn, or rather King Spawn, this will be for you. So 4 years ago, Todd McFarlane launched the first large-scale expansion of the Spawn universe with King Spawn 1. Now you're here to celebrate the success of the expanded Spawn universe with King Spawn 50. So there we go, guys. Get onto it. You can see some of the variants down there, actually. It looks like some are actually signed as well. Sketch inks, version covers, you name it, got it. Transformers 25. Well, this is a big one. This is the big one. So Darren Warren Johnson has moved on to something exciting, and we thought, who could take up his pen and do justice Transformers? The big man himself has stood up. That's Robert Kirkman himself. And not only that, who could take over from art? Dan Mora is here with George Corona and Mike Spicer. So this is going to be an absolute treat. And if you're watching, or rather reading Battle Beast at the moment, you know that Robert Kirkman has gloves off at the moment. So it's going to be absolutely spectacular. Let's have a look. New story arc, oversized anniversary edition. So it's going to be 48 pages. So that's pretty good. And only $5. So the Energon universe will never be the same as the Autobot Decepticons kick off the most surprising new chapter in their war on Earth. Optimus Prime and the remaining Autobots must join forces with unlikely allies in order to protect their adopted planet. But Prime's next challenge lies closer to home than he ever imagined. And what is the fate of the Decepticons? Now, this is another book that I'm playing catch up with. I'm definitely going to get caught up. I'm definitely going to jump on board this. Robert Kirkman, can't say no. And as I can see there was a gorgeous, and you're going to get bored of me saying it, it's a gorgeous Jim Lee Optimus Prime cover there, along with lots of cool covers from Dan Mora, Kel Nagu, Jorge Corona, Daniel Warren Johnson himself, Dave and Nakayama, Jean Amour, Andres Duraz. Oh my God, Eric Canty. There's so many covers, and they all look amazing. So this has been absolute standout book. I think it's one of the best Transformers of modern times to be published. So we're on to that. So we got a new book here, The Author Immortal #1 by Frank J. Barberi, with art by Morgan Beam. So series premiere, a story about the stories that shape us and the power they still hold. Hector Ramirez is a failed writer who gets the opportunity of a lifetime to help reboot the fantasy book series that defined his childhood. But when he discovers the original author has mysteriously vanished into his fictional world, Hector is pulled into a realm where stories are alive and some are willing to kill to stay in control. That sounds really cool. I'll be definitely picking that up, actually. Let's look at the art. And the art suits the book as well. Some blood there. So I'm in. I'm 100% in on this. I do like this. Let's see. What else is new? Death to Pachuho. Henry Barajas and Rachel Merrill and Lee Lothbridge. So what is this all about? Mini-series premiere. During the summer of 1943, Los Angeles became a hotbed of tension and conflict as a series of fierce clashes erupted between US Navy members and Mexican-American youth stemming from the murder of Carlos Urbano. Private Eye Ricardo Ricky Tellez needs to find the sleepy lagoon killer before the racist mob kills him in the Zoot Suit riots. The clock is ticking and it's a bad time to be a Mexican. Okay, much like in current times, actually. But anyway, this sounds interesting, if not political. And I'd definitely jump aboard this. I'll give it a whirl, give it a review. It looks pretty cool. Not sure where it's going to go. More new number ones. So Hectoplasm returns. Hunt the Bigfoot. I haven't read any Hectoplasm before. I'm sure this is a continuation of something else. Maybe, maybe not. So it is Benito Sereno, Derek Hunter, and Spencer Holt. We've got itinerant ghost hunter Hectoplasm face all sorts of unquiet spirits in his travels, but a series of murders in a Pacific Northwest town leads him to confront a creature more solid than usual, Bigfoot. Can Hector track down a beast that doesn't want to be found, clear his own name, and save a struggling local business at the same time? So I don't think this is my cup of tea. I mean, it looks nice enough, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. So there is a Ryan Utley cover, a Derek Hunter cover, a Nate Bellegarde cover, Tom Fowler, and another Ryan Utley, but it's not enough to pull me in, so maybe I might give that a miss. I'm not sure. If you know about this more than I do, and I should be reading it, let me know. G.I. Joe, Cold Slither. So I discussed this in our news show the other week. So the long and short of it is Cold Slither is a fictional band from one of the cartoon episodes from years ago, and they've brought it back to have a bit of fun with it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I wouldn't normally pick this up, but because it's sort of tongue-in-cheek, giggle at its own self, I'll definitely give it a go. I think Spinal Tap with G.I. Joe. So the greatest band ever reunites to rock and rule the world. Discover the true world kind of story, what happened to Cold Slither through the eyes of the band themselves, who were, of course, not the Dreadnoks on an undercover mission. But as Cobra is topping the charts, dominating the world, can G.I. Joe find a way to change the tune? There we go. We'll be giving that a go. It should be fun to read. Okay, we got something new. Again, there's lots of new stuff. Good Devils Don't Play Fair with Evil, David Brothers and Nick Dragotta. Okay, so Nick Dragotta's on it, so I'll definitely jump on board. From Nick Dragotta and David Brothers comes three tales that hit like a truck. Who will rule the roost in the post-apocalypse? Will the greatest boxer alive actually live up to his self-proclaimed legend? And just who will survive in America? Extra length, perfect bound issue, 64 pages. Okay, we'll give that a go. We'll give that a go. It is Nick Dragotta, so I don't know David Brothers, but I know Dragotta, so I'll jump on. Ice Cream Man, The Mortal Coil Shuffle Special. So Ice Cream Man is a really fun book that I'm reading, actually. I'm catching up with it. I got on board to do it quite late. This is a comic book told via 55 playing cards. So what's that about? Limited to one printing, will never be collected in trade. Okay, we'll have to pick this up then. Ice Cream Man is proud to present an unprecedented comic book event. Continuing exploration into just what a comic can be, the award-nominated team responsible for Ice Cream Man, one of the most enduring comics of the last decade, has pushed the envelope, this time so far that it might just fall right off the gosh darn table. The Mortal Coil Shuffle is a one-time, only, one-of-a-kind Ice Cream Man story told via a deck of 55 playing cards, and those cards, numbered, sequenced, and packed into a beautifully custom card box, tell a comic book yarn unlike anything you've read before. This is really interesting, actually. Some cards tell part of the story, the other cards cast spells on the characters reminiscent of a magical card game folks have loved for decades. Some cards must be joined other cards to form a complete piece of art, like putting a puzzle together. Not to mention trick cards, rude intrusions, and wild cards that could alter the direction of the story, lickety split, just like that. Okay, so this says here, it's a first of its kind comic experiment, and as such, we're limited to one printing and one printing only. And the story told here will also never be collected in trade. The cards will be released and then, poof, they will go on like magic. We suggest reserving one with your local comic shop far in advance of the final order cutoff date. I'm going to do that the second I get off this video. So the Power Fantasies, brilliant. Kieran Gillen, Caspar Wynyard, incredible book. That's on my list. Definitely jump on board. I can't explain it quickly because it is deep and it is good. All I can say is, like, if you're not reading it, you should be. So Rook Exodus continues. I'm not picking it up. That's part of his, I think a lot of his, he's got this whole line going on at Image, which isn't floating my boat. The Sacrifices, Rick Remender is something I'm catching up on. There's a new story arc here. So hopefully by then I will be caught up and be reviewing that too. So Super Creepshow Special. Okay. What do we got? Dan Waters, Ryan Stegman, Ed Brisson. Okay, with art by various artists. The Ultimate Creepshow experience is an absolute must-read. So a special celebration of superheroes new and old, very, very disturbed, and what's possibly already been called the most important comic of the year. It's worth a review. We'll give it a look. It's not usually my cup of tea, but we'll try it. Now, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance by Rick Remender and Andre Lima Araujo was amazing. I love this book. I've got the hardcover special edition. I really, really, really enjoyed it. So this is the oversized arts edition, which means it's going to be 11 by 17 inches, which is the comic book size. And I guess it's going to be the original pencils or inks. So I am 100% on board with this. If you if you like this book, it's a definite pickup, right? So it's only $25, 64 pages. Yeah, we're definitely getting that. Dracula. James Tynion the Fourth, one of two. Again, this is something I wouldn't normally read, but with a creative team like that, with James Tynion the Fourth and Martin Simmons, we'll definitely give that a go. Definitely give that a go. So what have we got? Massive verse fighting card game. So this is, I don't know, that's not for me. I guess that's all the massive verse characters, and they're doing a lot of card games here. Scumbag skateboarding. Well, I've been a skateboarder since I could stand up, and that's a cool deck. But very 80s there, so very cool to hang on the wall, but I won't be picking that up, of course. Now, Maria Lovett, now I've discovered her recently, actually, and I love her work. Her art is absolutely stunning. So Artificial One isn't out yet. She does the story and the art. I will be picking that 100%. So I'm not going to read the solicit because I don't want to spoil it for anybody because it hasn't come out yet. But that's on the list for sure, 100%. Okay, Spawn, like I say, not a Spawn guy, so I won't be picking those books up. Blood and Thunder. I read the first issue, I had promise. I read the second issue, I just started losing interest. And by the end of the third, I was like, it's off my pull list. I feel really bad because Benito Serrano, EJ Sue, you know, they've got a nice thing going on there, but it's just not for me. It really isn't. Really sad. I'm hoping it had that kind of invincible feel to it, but it didn't. But if you're enjoying it, great. Again, these are just my opinions. We all like different things, right? Some like Coca-Cola, some like Pepsi. But to me, this is Pepsi, and I like Coke. So I won't pick it up. More Spawn. I'm going to skip through that. Creep Show again. The classic horror stuff, but not for me. Not for me. More Spawn. More Spawn everywhere. Department of Truth is pretty cool. James Tynion IV and Scott Snyder continue. A couple of 34 issues already. That's interesting how time flies by, doesn't it? So that's a cool book. Let's probably go back on my pull list. I'm catching up with that. So here's a new one. It hasn't come out yet. It's called Escape, and I'm very excited by this. I was excited in the last time we discussed this. So this is Rick Remender and Daniel Acuna, and it's like I think it's like a World War II anthropomorphic action. So I can't wait to review that first book. I mean, look at the creative team, Rick Remender and Daniel Acuna, man. You can't say no. Everything Dead and Dying, Tate Brumble. So I am going to give this a go. I'm not a big fan of Tate Brumble. Not to say that he's a bad writer. I'm not clicking with some of the stuff he's done recently. But again, I can't remember what this is about, but I'm going to give it a review and we'll see if it gets picked up. Exquisite Corpses, incredible book. I'm loving it. It's all out fun, all out gore. It's worth the pickup. It's one of those books that should be on every single Image readers lists. Tyler Boss, James Tynion IV, art by Gavin Fullerton and Michael Walsh. It's brilliant. It's a treat. Lots of killers dumped in a city, or rather a town that's been cut off from everywhere else, and they have to go for this battle royale, and whoever wins, the family that sponsored this Illuminati sort of group of families, whoever sponsored that killer, takes control of the whole sort of cabal. Very, very cool. Very, very fun. Really loving it. Farmland, I'm not reading. Let me know if I should. Feral, Tony Fleeks. Now, I don't review this, but it is a great book. I really, really love it. Art by Trish Forstner, Tone Rodriguez, and Brad Simpson. Absolutely classic. Brilliant. It's got cats in it. I have 3 of my own, so anything with cats in, I'm going to pick up. But it is a really good read. I'm really, really enjoying Feral. Free Planet by Aubrey Citizen and Jed Dorsey. Now, I tried to read it, but I think it's just not for me. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad book. It certainly isn't. But it feels like I'm reading Lord of the Rings again. Because there's so much written word in it, and I couldn't connect with it. But again, I'm not saying it's a bad book. If you like the first one, well, you got to grab these. G.I. Joe continues. I don't pick up G.I. Joe, unfortunately. I read a couple of issues, but this was called Action Force here in the UK, and I loved the cartoon and the comics back when I was a kid, but as an adult, it just hasn't picked me up. Now, Guy goes continuing with Jeff Johns. That's part of his whole Ghost Machine unnamed line, which I couldn't get into, so I went picking up Ghost Pepper. That came out this week, the week of recording this, and it was by Ludo Alalabi. Now, he's done the story and the art and the lettering and everything else, and it is really, really promising. It's like a science fiction dystopia, but with heart. Some great characters, very reminiscent of sort of manga if it was Western, and Attack on Titan vibes, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I should definitely still be on this book. So I recommend you pick it up now because only one issue's come out. Good is Dead, David Lapham and Maria Lapham. So that's a 100% pickup. Number 1 hasn't come out yet. I will be reviewing that for sure. For sure. Gunslinger, some more Spawn. Again, I don't pick that up. If you pick up Spawn, then I'm sure it's a pickup. Horseman Halo just couldn't click with. And the High Street was so promising. But it just lost me. It just lost me. So I wish I liked it because I loved the concept. I loved the concept, but no, that's not a pickup. I hate Fairyland. I never got into that as well. I love Scott Young, but I didn't pick that up. I Tyrant. So this is about to drop. This, I think, was the one that had this really weird, unreadable solicit that made absolutely no sense, and we still have no idea what it's about. So it's either dropped now, and I haven't read it, or I'm about to, or it's about to drop. So I'm probably going to check it out and see if we get to issue 4. Lazarus Fallen. Never read Lazarus. It's on the list. It's on the list. Lucky Devils. Again, I love Charles Soule. And I'm going to start picking this book up too. Let me know if it's any good. I mean, his Daredevil was pretty cool, right? So I'd like to see what his own creator-owned things is. The covers are great. So what's that? Ryan Brown and Matthew Allison. Really, really cool. News from the Fallout. Now, this was a surprise book for me. It's black and white and a bit of red, maybe. I can't remember. But it's all very, very, very abstract. And it's very, very interesting book. There's been this explosion, this nuclear test, and the general behind it has purposely kept his soldiers near to it because it messes them up and they turn into these crazed killers. But one of the soldiers that was there gas masked up. He knew something was wrong and he's trying to escape. And he's being pursued by, his squaddies who have been all transformed to these bloodthirsty killers. So quite interesting. And it looked really spectacular. Art was lovely by Jeffrey Adam Love. And it's written by Chris Condon, who I'm 50-50 with, depending on what he's working on. So this is a new book, again, that hasn't come out. Some FBI agents involved and some kind of mystery. And I'm 100% on that. We're going to review it on the channel. And I'm hoping it's going to be good. Hoping it can be it. So Semin Kudransky is behind that. I think he's doing the whole thing. Yeah, he is. So it looks cool. The covers look rad. Covers look really, really good. There's some nods to some famous films there, if you can spot them. Rage It Black, never read it. So let me know. I will get the first trade and give it a go. Rat Cities, more Spawn, more Jeff Johns World, which doesn't fit with me. Same with the Rocket Fellas. I've never read that. Let me know. Should I be reading this book? Peter J. Tomasi, Francis Mampole. Yeah, okay. Rogue Sun, again, another book that I've not been in. But again, it's a Spawn thing, right? Am I right? I think I'm right. So it's something that I just don't pick up. Same with Sam Twitch. I read a bit of that back in the early 2000s. That was quite interesting. So if anything I was going to pick up, I'd probably pick something up like this. I like that sort of detective investigation, pulp, grit noir type of book. Scorched. Never read it. That cover looks incredible. But again, is this another Spawn book? I think it might be. I'm not sure. But the covers look cool. John Lehman, Stephen Segovia. Sisterhood, a Hyde Street story. So this is, again, another of those tie-ins into the Hyde universe that has been created. And again, if I was really into the main title, I'd probably pick it up, but I'm not. Now, Skinbreaker, there's something I'm picking up. It's got Robert Kirkman on it. It's got David Finch on it, right, with Annalisa Leone. So issue 1's about to drop. It sounds amazing. It sounds a bit like, I don't know, Conan Gone Wild. I'm not sure, but it looks stunning. It sounds stunning. And that's a definite review. And we'll definitely picking that up. Moving on to Sleep, which I tried. I couldn't get onto it. It wasn't for me. It was a bit too indie for me. And I didn't sit with it. So more Spawn, Tin Can Society, the final issue. This is a classic book. I absolutely love it. Peter Warren, Francesco Mobili. Really, really good. So if you haven't read it, pick up the issues or wait for the trade because it's really, really cool. We definitely get it. It's about this superhero who's like world renowned for many, many reasons other than being a superhero, and he's murdered. And his old school friends come back to try and figure out who done it. Really, really cool. Unchosen. This is just dropped by superstar David Marquez, Eisner Award winner. He's written and drawn it, and I really enjoyed it. It's kind of like a sci-fi, Harry Potter, fantasy adventure. And the first issue just came out. And it was good. So I'm really hoping that it continues through to be good. Undiscovered Country. Again, this is on my list of catch-up books. You ever watch these previews videos? There's so much I say is on catch-up, but I really am. I've got so many books to catch up and read. So I work full-time as a graphic designer and branding specialist and some other secret projects to do with comics. And it's finding the time to read and work and spend time with loved ones. So it's a long list, but it's got Charles Soule and Scott Snyder on it. So, I've got to get on board. Invisible Man, James Tynion IV. Okay, what number 1 is dropping? I will be reviewing it because I love the film. I think it's a classic movie, and I'd love to see what these guys do with it. Viking Moon. So that's Joe Pruitt and Marcello Fruzin. Now, this hasn't dropped yet, actually. I think it's dropping in a month. possibly give it a go. It's got werewolves, and Vikings, so maybe it looks like the kind of book I might like. Again, another book which I think has either dropped and I've not read or is about to drop. The Voice Said Kill. So this is Cy Spurrier and Vanessa Del Rey. So that's 100% on my pull list. Void Rivals. Yes, Mr. Kirkman smashing out Void Rivals. What an incredible book. What an amazing way to bring in that whole Energon universe. To be honest with you, this book was just separate from the Energon universe. It would still be incredible. I kind of sometimes wish it was its own little thing, but the way he's sort of brought in G.I. Joe and Transformers is seamless. It works really well. All the characters are well rounded. The art's always great by Connor Hughes, Patricio DePiche, and it hasn't failed me yet. On the list, Walking Dead. I was getting close to finishing now. These deluxe color editions, they look really, really good. So if you do like The Walking Dead and you always want to see it in color because it was originally black and white, for those who don't know, then they should be on your list. Witchblade, again, like Spawn, I never got into Witchblade. I don't know why. Everyone else seems to love it, but I could not get into it. I don't know. Okay, 68 Compendium, Mark Kidwell, Nat Jones, Jay Foe. So they're collecting this book, 752 pages. Wow, that's a big one. So the zombies are back in the razor wire as Meat Grinder Studios and Image Comics present the official 68 Compendium edition. This massive tombstone of volume, but 752 page of Vietnam zombie mayhem, collecting the full 30-issue run. So I read some of that and it was pretty cool. If you're a big fan of 68, that's a definite pickup, right? So all Negro Comics, America's first black comic book. Okay, winner of the Eisner Award. Wow. The first comic ever created by African Americans for African Americans. In the golden age of comic books, Orrin C. Evans led a team of black cartoonists to create the first comic book anthology of original black characters with the express purpose of entertaining while rejecting harmful stereotypes and pushing boundaries in the industry. Published around the time of household names like Superman, Batman, and Captain America, even predating Black Panther, All Negro Comics #1 should be among those revered moments in comic book history. But the original print was quickly removed from newsstands and faded into obscurity until now. This trade paperback reissues the Eisner Award-winning out-of-print hardcover All Negro Comics 75th Anniversary Edition. Okay, so that's a definite good book to look into. I'll be picking it up and giving it a review. I like comics history of all kinds. Let's move on. The Astounding Wolfman. Wow, finally we've got the compendium. So this is 100% on the list, as seen in the Invincible cartoon. Robert Kirkman's Wolfman with Jason Howard and Cliff Rathburn. So I loved this book when it came out. Let's see what it collects. 1 to 25 and Invincible 57 crossover. Fantastic. So advanced solicit and a likely superhero rises in the Invincible universe. This is actually an advanced solicit. So when's it coming out? Does it say? I'm not sure it says. Okay. Well, after Gary Hampton is brutally attacked and left for dead, he awakens to a terrifying new reality. He's faster, stronger, and cursed to become a werewolf every full moon. As the Astounding Wolfman, Gary's determined to use his newfound power for good, but the line between man and beast is thin. Hunted and haunted by his own actions, Gary must fight to reclaim his humanity and embrace his monstrous nature. Yes, that's on the list. The Invincible hardcovers are beautiful. The Invincible Universe Compendium is beautiful. So this is going to sit absolutely perfectly next to those. That's a definite pickup. Looking forward to rereading it, actually. Bug Wars. Okay, now if you've not read this, pick it up. Really, really good. Jason Aaron, Mahad Assar, and Matt Wilson. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids on acid, basically, crossed with fantasy warfare. It is so good. It's a 160-page trade. I will be picking that up, guys. I'll be picking that up. 8 Billion Genies. Again, another Charles Soule book. Have you noticed a pattern with Charles Soule? Yep. I got into Charles Soule late, so I've stacked up all of his stuff. So I guess this connects his little run, 8 Billion Genies. So that might be a good one to pick up. We're getting deep into the trades here, so we're going to skip through and see if there's anything brand new, any special editions. The Haunt, the Complete Collection, Fish Flies with Jeremiah, Hyde Street, Invincible Universe Battle Beast. Now, this probably is like one of my top 3 books every month, sort of non-Marvel, non-DC. It is an absolute blast from page to page. I've never seen so much gore and action. Ryan Otley must be sitting there laughing his tits off as he draws it, because you can tell that Robert Kirkman and Ryan Otley are just having fun here. You know, that they're not bothered about how many are going to sell anymore. They're not bothered about, you know, when the next page comes. They're just making a comic that they can really enjoy when they're making it, and it is amazing. I cannot wait till he gets his own animated series. So jump on board, guys. Battle Beast is like probably one of the best books coming out of Image right now as well. Knights versus Samurai. Never read that. I'm not sure if I'm I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure I picked that up. No, I never read that. That won't be on my list. Null Hunter. I've not read any Null Hunter, so let me know. Let me know. Michael Walsh and Gustavo Vargas. So what is this about? Let's look. A neon-infused cyberpunk retelling of the classic Greek myth Labours of Hercules. Okay, set in the stars. I might jump on that a bit earlier. Oh, Paper Girls. Now, this is, again, one of my favourite Image books. I've got these beautiful hardcovers they put out a little while ago. Worth every penny. I actually reread it a couple of weeks ago and made a video about it. So it was won 5 Eisner Awards. I absolutely love it. It is such a throwback and love letter to the 80s and science fiction and pulp and everything else that you could possibly love. So I thoroughly recommend this. If you haven't got the hardcovers or the original issue or anything else, get these little, get onto Paper Girls. These are backpack editions, so I guess these are smaller versions, much like the DC's compact versions. And it's super good. So for those of you who haven't read Paper Girls, let's read it out. So it says, winner of the five Eisner Awards, American Library Association, great graphic novels for teens, and the inspiration for the Amazon Prime series. So from Brian K. Vaughan, who's Why the Last Man, was incredible. And lots of other stuff he's done. New York Times bestseller, writer of Saga, to name another one. And Cliff Chiang, legendary artist of Catwoman Lonely City, comes a time travel adventure unlike any other, now collecting a smaller backpack friendly edition with a gorgeous new cover. In the early hours after Halloween of 1988, 4 12-year-old newspaper delivery girls, Erin, KJ, Mac, and Tiffany, uncover the most important story of all time. So it collects the first 2 volumes, that's issues 1 to 10 of Paper Girls, in a digest. So that's cool. Well worth it. Birthright. Well, Joshua Williams is you know, one of the big boys out there. I guess this is the second volume of his Birthright book, which I have not read. Oh my God, there's so much to read. Bitterroot. I think I tried it and I just couldn't get into it. I'm not sure. Department of Truth keeps on pumping. G.I. Joe. The second compendium's out for fans of G.I. Joe. This is one of these monster 1,200-page books. I mean, I've seen the Transformers ones in the flesh, and boy, oh boy, you don't want to get hit with one of those. Okay, what else we got? Let's see what other books here. We're just going to jump through these. There's a new edition of Saga, Wall Tree, Mike Mignola's Hellboy in Hell, Artist Edition Volume 2. So Mike Mignola, along with sort of Jay Lee and lots of other artists, one of my favourite artists of all time. Hellboy's also one of my favourite characters and runs of all time. So these full-colour artboard size artist editions, hardcovers, are absolutely gorgeous. So they're well worth picking up if you are a fan. Why it's not on Dark Horse, I don't know, but who knows? It's here. It's beautiful. Same with Bollywood. Some classic art there if you like. I like the old Bollywood EC comics. And that's it. That's it for Image. Again, there's loads of new books, loads of continuing books. It is a big month for comics, I think. And I am going to have to save some pennies to buy it all. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Let me know if I've missed anything. Let me know if there's anything that I should be reading that I haven't. Just let me know what you're going to read. It will be interesting to know. So thanks for watching. Leave a like if you like a like. And hit subscribe. Please hit subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Till next time, take care, read more comics, and I'll see you soon.